Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Mom Curious podcast. I am Daniela Rabbani, your host. I am here with Aisha of the Good Mutha. She's like one of my very favorite creators. She started yesterday and has somehow captured the likes and the hearts and the attention and also just like the total praise of so many thousands. I mean, like, there's this one reel of yours where you're cleaning up and you're looking straight into the camera and you're like, I like what I'm doing. This is great. What are the lyrics?
I like to do this. This is fun.
I like to do this.
This is fun and I like to do it.
It's the best thing I've ever seen. I've sent it to everyone I know. My husband and I will just watch it like on repeat. You are hilarious and beautiful and a fellow Virgo.
Yeah, so you just realized this like a week ago.
So I really like you now.
Oh, thank you. I know. When I was like, oh my God, that's why we're friends.
Virgos love Virgos.
In my head, we're friends. Exactly.
We're best friends. Virgos do love Virgos. Do other signs feel that way about each other, or is it just us?
I don't know. I mean, I only know based on Virgos because
they're the only ones that exist. They're the only ones that matter.
So,
I mean, obviously.
I don't know if there's anyone else out there.
I mean, really. Hey, so do you want to introduce yourself to the audience in case they don't know you?
Sure.
I hope they're gonna just click on over and have a giggle because you're hilarious. But go on.
Thank you. I mean, I'm Aisha, like you said, from the Good Mutha or of the Good Mutha. I started the journey, I guess it was March 2022.
Like yesterday.
For real?
That's like, not a long time.
Sure, yesterday.
Yeah, sort of. Yesterday.
It's not that long ago, to be fair, I suppose. But when I actually had my first daughter, that's when I had the idea of like, I've got to share these experiences because I feel lonely as anything. I can't be the only one here.
Yeah.
But I never really got around to like doing anything. I would just like write blogs and be like, okay, this is fine, and like shelf it.
But you have a full-time job.
And then I do, and it's hard. Sometimes even now I'm just like, I'm tired. I don't want to do anything. But yeah, I have a full-time job. I'm an orthoptist. Do you know what that is?
I have no idea what that is. I read it. I read it. It's not that I didn't look you up. It's that I don't know what that is. Because
right. And honestly, no one does.
Oh, okay, great.
Honestly, no one does. No one knows. I go in to see my patient. I'm like, hi, I'm Aisha. I'm the orthoptist. And I'm like, what?
Are we talking about feet? And are you a doctor?
So no and no.
Oh God, I'm canceled. I'm canceled and I'm fired. Get out of here, Rabbani.
Go. Do you want to take another guess?
By the way, Aisha is your new host.
So hi, today we have Daniela.
Oh, great. She knows nothing about anything. What is
orthoptist? Is eyes.
Oh my God, I'm really.
You're not, honestly.
But doesn't it sound like an orthopedist?
It does, and everyone says eyes. Oh, not eyes. Everyone says feet.
Oh, everyone says feet.
I'm like, no, everyone. But yeah, it's eyes, and I'm kind of like a physician's assistant for ophthalmology.
Wow.
I guess that's kind of like the parallel you could make. I don't know. So yeah, I do that full time, and honestly, I'm kind of tired of it.
You're tired of it, and so is the Good Mutha like your escape route?
It is. At first, it was just my escape because of all the stuff that goes on with being a mom and all this stuff. So
emotional
escape.
To like,
exactly. Yeah. So instead of I might cry still, but I'll still
yeah. Then I'll laugh about it. Then I'll make it content.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah. And then as I guess that video that you were talking about was the first one that really got some kind
millions of views.
Got away from everything. Yeah.
So when that happened,
like, maybe this could be a thing.
Oh really? I mean, you're very funny. You really are very funny. You're like a really funny.
I think so. My kids not so much. My husband is,
Really? I think you're really funny. That's the thing about being a funny person. You're like, I need to be funny to people who are not in my family because like there's something about being a family member where they don't get it.
They don't. They're just like, oh, I guess you're okay.
Okay, yeah, I guess that's funny. People have to tell my children that I'm funny. Like, like out loud, like your mom is funny.
Right. You do know that she's funny.
Yeah. They're like, okay, whatever. uh, well, objectively speaking, you're very funny, and that reel. So
Thank
that's what
you.
happens. I mean, it really is impressive that you've grown so much in so little time. It was
I've
that
been
one
surprised for
reel.
sure.
Tell
That
me,
kind of
tell me
like
how that goes.
blew up a bit. I honestly don't know. I just post stuff, and some, I might get one like for one, and then I guess this one got like loads and loads. So I just have no idea.
Mm.
I just post what I post, and then see what happens. And I get a lot of messages, I guess, from other mums that telling me, "Oh, it's so relatable. Thank you for doing this," and that gives me a bit more energy to be like, okay, let me keep doing this then
Yeah.
because it's actually helping some people. Um, and that's when I started getting those messages. That's when I thought, okay, yeah, I think I would like to do this and maybe do even more than just making videos to try and actually help.
Yeah, like what?
Like mums and everything. I I have so many ideas. I just can't land on anything. So when I was like, oh, I need to figure out a way to make. Especially, I had another one about when you're pregnant, everyone's like, oh, what do you want? Blah blah blah,
Mm.
give you everything. But then you have the baby, and it's like, okay, where is everyone? I need
Yes.
stuff, but no one's here.
Yes.
And from that, I was like, oh, maybe I could start something where this is thinking really big, but like a foundation where we make stuff and packages and things for like new
I
moms and
love
things
this.
like that. But I just have like so many ideas. I want to write a book.
Oh my God, I'm so
I
excited.
just I just need to honestly what I need to do, to be perfectly honest, is either stop working in an ideal world or reduce my hours, and then I can do more of the stuff that I actually enjoy.
Guys, we're on the ground floor
But
of
I do.
something big. I really feel like
I hope so.
I think so. I feel like I found you right before this
Right
all.
before I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't know you anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I found you. We became Virgo sisters, and then
We
pretty soon
are.
you're just not even gonna know me, and I'm okay with that. It's happened before. I know
No,
a lot of
I
famous
can't.
people. It's happened
It,
before. It's okay. I'm here for it. I support it. I think you're great.
I don't know. I would never be able to live with myself
Oh,
if
it's
I did that. I
yeah.
just wouldn't. I just couldn't.
Well, so you think?
um,
I mean, how do you even start a side hustle like this? Like, how do you make
so
the
well,
time? Like, you have two
right.
small children.
It is a lot, and I think that's really why I didn't do it initially when I had my
Oh
first
yeah.
daughter. Because I was just so overwhelmed, and I would write here and there, and I thought, you know what, let me get a few blog posts under my belt first before I even start to do something, because I know if I do, it's going to be one post here, and then 6 months later I might maybe do another one. So let me just get a catalog of stuff, and then before I actually start doing anything like seriously. And the loneliness is that
Yeah.
I have felt as well, because I'm not from America, I'm from England.
Yeah. So you don't have any
So I
family here.
moved here, right, and I moved here end of 2018, got pregnant middle of 2019, and then obviously COVID hit when I actually gave birth. So
Ugh,
it's been a really weird few years actually.
so weird.
And then yeah, I had people from work, but then me being me, I'm a quite introverted as well. So they would invite me places, like, I can't go. And I was pregnant too. I was like, I just want to go to sleep, and I just want to go home and sleep. I don't need to socialize. And then after everything, I was like, actually, it'd be nice to have some friends. But
Yeah, I know. It's a weird feeling where you're like, I'm too tired for friends, and also like I have like real needs for connection
need for
and
yeah,
village
and
and
for someone
help
to
and
exactly
another adult. Like it's and I feel like
right.
I've always been very extroverted and I've become more introverted.
Hmm, that's
Partially because
interesting.
I know, partially because I just think like I'm so stimulated all the time.
Yeah,
Like this,
yeah.
even just the thought of the screaming voices about to rush in. I love
Hmm.
them. Like they're screaming because they're
Of course.
happy. They're screaming because they're
Yeah.
securely attached. They're screaming. They're just
Hmm.
screaming all the time.
Yeah,
That it just
all
feels
the
like wow.
time.
Like if I when I usually would like love a party. Like I love
Mm-hmm.
dancing. I like being like, like I'm a performer. I want to be like the live
Right.
of the party. Like it's too much for my ears. My ear holes are full.
Yeah,
They're saturated.
that's exactly what it is.
And I also feel like um we change so much in motherhood, right? Like
Hmm.
actually, this is a question that I ask everyone. Who are you today? Like we know that I can't what's so crazy? I was about to say we know that you're an ophthalmologist. Rabani.
I mean, sure, you can give me those credentials if you
Um
want.
okay, well we know what you do professionally. We know that you're a mom, but
Right.
like what's going on with you today? Like
Today, oof, today I'm honestly just trying to survive, I think. I've
yeah,
been trying
great.
to do, I'm listening to a lot more like spiritual like podcasts and books and things like that. And I just think I want to connect more with that side,
Your spiritual side?
which, yeah, and like my creative side,
Mm,
which I think would then evolve into me just being more content and therefore just a happier
person.
person within, and like then my kids would benefit, my husband would benefit, my marriage and everything. So that's where I am right now. The past week or so I've just been coming out with my husband with these things like, do you know, the skies, I would really love it if this, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, does this sound weird? And he's like, no.
No, but I think like it's such a like understandable moment in
Hmm.
motherhood where like the little one is 2, so like you're not you've been on for a long time. I mean,
Yeah.
having kids a year and a half apart is like no joke. And like
Mm-mm.
when they're 2, I'm not saying that they're independent, but it's like a milestone for you. You're like,
Yeah.
"Wait, what do I want? What's my name? What does my name
Right.
mean?" We had that conversation before we got on.
We did. What is life? What do I want?
Yeah, you're in
And
like the
it's
chrysalis
true.
phase.
Yeah. How old are yours?
My son is 6.5 and my daughter is
Okay.
4.
Okay.
My dog
How
is
is that?
11. How is that? She just started pre-K, so
Mm,
I mean, it's basically the same in Texas, I'm sure, but that's like elementary school. Like she's in
right.
the elementary school with her big brother who's in first grade.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's a big milestone for me. Not because I have more
Hmm.
childcare, by the way. I don't, because she gets out of school earlier than she did when she was in preschool, but I don't know, it just feels like I can like they're okay when I'm not around
Right.
in a way.
Yeah.
Also because my husband, and he's the first one to say this, that like
Hmm.
he didn't really get it the first couple of years. Like he didn't
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
know how to support me or like what he
Hmm.
do, he gets it now in a way that like
Okay.
makes my life so much more enjoyable than it did when I
Yeah.
was like trying to teach him how to care for children or
Hmm.
deal with housework and blah blah blah.
Right. Isn't that weird? Like you share something so huge with someone, but they just have honestly, they just really have no way of really
Understanding.
comprehending what we're going through. And it's frustrating, but it's also not their fault because they will never be able to kind of go through it the way we have.
Well,
So,
they're not pregnant for 10 months.
right, right. And, my husband would always say, "Oh, I wish I could take your place." I was like, I mean, it's
Hmm.
great that you say that, and that's nice, but you can't.
He did take you to Beyonce though, didn't he?
Oh, he did. That was really nice. That was a birthday present.
Oh
I
my
was like,
god.
okay,
I like that.
Beyonce.
I loved it.
Really?
You
Yeah,
looked
it was
so
really good.
good. I
Thank you.
loved it. I loved
Thank
that
you.
for
I
you.
was so tired because
Mhm.
I had like a stomach. I called my daughter's stomach bug like the 2 days before that, and I was like, I gotta do this for
You gotta do this for Beyonce.
Beyonce.
You gotta do this for
Right.
Beyonce. And you did.
Got to.
You did it
I
for
did.
you. But
And for me,
you
yeah.
moved to the United States for him. How did that happen?
Yeah.
What's that
So we met
backstage
online.
story?
We met online because we're both Muslims, so we were on a Muslim dating
I
app.
love it. Oh my god.
Um,
You know I
and
can't relate
then,
more because of the Jewish thing.
oh, did you guys?
No, but
Well, yeah.
I was on a Jewish dating app and so was my husband. And
Were
because of
you?
our like
Uh-huh.
our, you know, like classifications or whatever the filters are, we would have never gotten
Right.
together. But
Exactly.
I love that you were on a Muslim dating app. Go on. This is so fun.
We were, because I first started off, just the UK, and I was like, no one's biting, so I need to cast my net wider. And then met him. It was pretty instant. I think he told me he loved me like week 3. I was like, I think I do, but let me just hold off a minute because I'm just like walls here, all over the
Oh,
place.
love it.
I was like, okay. But I think we met each other 1, 2, 3 times before we got married.
What?
Yeah, it was pretty quick.
Aisha,
I know.
that's a big risk. What?
It was a big risk. My
Is he
parents were just
really
like,
cute? You never
what are you
show him.
doing? I mean, I think he is.
Oh my God.
I think he is. More so over the years.
Oh my God, that's a
And
good sign. I like that a lot. You met
yeah, I
3
think he's
times before
aged
you got
well.
married? Wow.
Yeah, I believe it was 3 because we started talking in March 2017. He came to England June. We went to Paris August, got engaged. I went to America November, and then yeah, April we got married. He came to England and we got
What
married.
a love affair.
It was. It was a whirlwind. Yeah. I mean, I didn't move to America until almost a year after we got married, so that was a shock in itself because I've never lived with anyone before that. That first year of living together was rough. It was really rough.
Also because you didn't know each other. Like
Right.
it
We
was
don't,
supposed
I
to be
mean,
a
we knew
honeymoon, but like,
each other, but we didn't know it. Right. It really wasn't. It was just like straight into living together and, oh, you do this. Oh, you're like this. Oh, this is my life. Okay. We actually have to work on this every day. That's awesome. And I think, you know what, it's mostly, I don't put all the blame on me because that's not fair on me, but even with like motherhood, marriage, I think I was just very naive, honestly, with going into it. Because I knew this is no shade on like my parents, but
some shade.
it was very for some. It was there's a lot of arguing and stuff in there. So I knew that I didn't quite want that. I mean, they're still
Arguing
together and
between them.
everything, and
Yeah.
yeah,
But
and
that's like,
it was like constant, and it just wasn't really a great thing to watch. And even if they were, thought we couldn't hear and they were in another room, we could always hear. We always knew what was going on. So
I had the same experience.
yeah,
It's really,
and it was
it's like they
very
they didn't realize that like, oh, that bothers us. That hurts
right.
us.
Oh, they can hear
Yeah.
that. Oh, it's exactly hurts us. And so all I saw was really what I watched in movies, like the fairy tales, and I really didn't get the day to day grind.
But you
That
did get the fairy tale.
parenthood
You
is.
did get the London, the
The,
Paris,
this is true.
the I
It does
mean,
sound a bit like a fairy tale.
you did get that. I mean, I gotta give it
Yeah,
to you.
that was it was fun. It
But the
was. I mean,
day
it
to
still
day,
is
it is
in a
so
different
fun.
way, right? It is because we're still both very committed to having a great marriage. So we put in the hard work, which is really hard sometimes.
Tell us about all the like. What do you do to have a
The,
great marriage? I love this.
well, we set. Sometimes I have this feeling sometimes like I can feel us starting to kind of disconnect. So when that happens, either him or me will come to each other and say, listen, I can feel this happening. Let's do something to try and bring us close together, whether that's setting aside, an evening to just like talk about things, or we we do date night every Friday. Even if it's just a take out in the house. And if we do get a babysitter, then that's nice too. We go out. And we do take time away from each other because that helps me because I can't have all the kids and then have him all the time either. So I was like,
Preaching
okay,
to the choir.
listen.
We just need alone time sometimes. Just I'm not trying to
Exactly.
say
And I
anything
said,
deep. It's just
it's
I
like
gotta be alone sometimes.
I just need to be by myself.
Yeah.
Like before you, I was really happy by myself. I love
Oh.
you, but I need time. So a few years ago, I was like, listen, 2 nights a week, let's just do our own thing, and
Mm.
then the rest of the time we can do whatever. So we spend that time together, and we've gotten couples journals sometimes. We've bought games, like couples games that we play
Really?
to kind of get to know each other more. Yeah, I can't remember what the other one. Oh, it's Are You a Stranger or We're Not Strangers, or that was one. And there was another couple card game that we have as well that
I
we
love
play
this.
sometimes. And just it's really hard because sometimes I really don't want to spend time with him, but
But then you're
I'm
like,
like,
I
well,
moved all the
this
way
is how
here.
it
I
is,
might
so
as
we have
well.
to. I may as well. And then with children, also, I mean, it's always difficult to find time when you have kids just wanting you all the time. And I was naive with them also. Like I guess I knew it might be hard, but I didn't realize how hard it would be. That was a real shock to me, actually. And because I didn't have, or I, or maybe there were some out there and I just didn't know of them. Like all I saw were the, motherhood blogs or Instagram of all the, oh, my kids are my world, my life, and they are. But then I thought everything was going to be great. And then I got into it and I was like, it's really not. Um, I remember when I first held my first daughter. I don't know if it was because of like how the labor had gone. I was induced. We were in there for, I don't know, 20 something hours. And I was just so tired. But I looked at her and I was like, I feel like I should feel more than this. Because,
Hmm.
you see on the movies that everyone, they start crying and everything. So, and you speak to people who have had children, it's like, oh, yeah, they're my world. We're so in love. And I was like, I mean, I know I love her, but I'm not feeling this like rush of, oh my God, this is my everything. This is what I've been waiting for. And I felt kind of guilty for that because,
So many
everyone's watching you in the
people.
delivery room.
Oh, yes, of
And I was
course.
like, I, I'm, I feel like I'm not reacting like I should be. That's kind of what was going through my head when I was like, am I a bad mother already? Like,
No.
what is going on?
It's just like
Um,
we're like people share so much of their lives as entertainment that like
yeah,
there's like this pressure to perform
hmm
is what I hear
there is
in that
massive
story.
pressure.
It's like
Yeah,
it's you're not this isn't like an Instagrammable moment. This is like yours,
right, right, right.
And like
And it was
our brains are not meant to know this much about other people's lives, other people's
they
experiences.
aren't. They aren't. And I'm glad I think that's probably part of the reason I was like, it's not all, yes, some of it is really great. A lot of it is really great, but that doesn't mean there aren't the hard stuff too. And
Yeah,
saying that there isn't is just really giving anyone coming into it a false sense of what this actually is.
I know.
And for those who are in it, making them feel like guilty or terrible for not always feeling like, oh, everything's wonderful all the time because my kids are so amazing and I love them. Um,
No,
but I mean, saying that,
we can love our
yeah.
kids, and it can be really hard, especially I don't actually know if parenting itself outside of the like physical hardship, which is by the way really hard to
Hmm,
make a
hmm.
whole human
It
body and
is.
then put it on the earth, keep it alive. But I don't know. I think society makes it harder for us. I don't know what is it like in England, by the way? Do you think it's like more community oriented? Like in the United States, like we really have a serious problem with maternity leave
Hmm. Yes.
and with not having like universal health care. Like there are real
Right.
problems that make being a
Hmm.
woman and a mother
Really difficult.
really
Yeah.
genuinely difficult. But I don't know. I've never lived in England before. Like, is it? You've
Right.
never been a parent in England, but
Hmm.
do
I mean, I know because my sister had kids before I left, or had her first child before I left. Um, And I do know, obviously, maternity leave is great there. Me working in a hospital, I would have had like a year.
Oh
And
my God.
I believe a certain amount of that is full, then it goes to half, and then like the last few months, I believe, is still a third of pay that you're getting
Wow.
for that year, and obviously universal healthcare. Um, and when there's this group, I don't know if they still have it because it's been 5 years almost since I left, but I know they used to have this group called NCT, National Children's Trust, I believe, where within your area you meet up for the last like 8 weeks or so of your pregnancy. You are in a group with 8 other expectant parents that are all due at the same time.
Wow.
So you have these like weekly sessions, and I know you don't go with all of them, of course, but I know like my sister, I think she's still in contact with like one or two of them.
Yeah.
So you already have that like sense of community before you have the baby, and that's like a government funded thing
Yeah.
that they have. So I think definitely prior to me moving, there was definitely more sense of community, and I think I would have felt that anyway, just because my family's there too. But since I've left, I don't know. And after COVID, I'm not sure
Yeah.
either, like if they've been able to sustain that. But yeah, definitely prior to that, there was.
Yeah. Like so
There
much
was.
support. And even I think
Mhm.
um, in England, like, even though there's more support than here, it's like, I think society in general, we're not doing our part for women. I think you are.
I know.
You're making us laugh.
Thank you.
You know,
I
I'm
also,
trying to do
I
my,
still don't feel like it's enough, but
I mean, if you cut down those hours, what would you
yeah,
do? What
exactly.
would you do if
Then,
you right, you talked about that greeting package. I mean, I love that.
right. Thank you. I would definitely focus on writing a book as well, a book of poems. I don't know, because I have a blog. I put some poems in there too. But some feedback I've had is like those are the ones that like mothers really resonate with the most.
Wow.
So, so I was thinking of just kind of like doing a book of poems to do with like motherhood. Um, that's one big thing I definitely will start. I think that'll be top of my list to
You
do.
heard it, guys? Did you hear it? She's gonna start.
That means I've got to do
Now
it.
she's
You're
gotta
holding me
do it.
accountable.
Okay.
That's what I need.
This is
And you know, I have
recorded.
it is recorded. It's in there, it's out there.
It's out there.
There's no going back
I
now.
mean, really. I
I
love
know.
that.
I really hope it comes to fruition though. And yeah, I mean, you tell me, what do you think people need, moms need? I
I think
don't know.
what you're providing in terms of like um laughs. I honestly think people need
Hmm.
humor. You know, like
Yeah.
somehow you have a way of making like the harder stuff funny. And
Hmm.
I'm not saying that every bit needs to be hilarious, but I do feel
Right,
like
right.
we need to like laugh about it, and then of course we have to do something about it. You know, like we have to we have to change society. We have to for moms because we just can't keep going like this because you know, like the more people like you share like, oh, this is like
Oh,
what it's
it's cut
really
out
like
a
to be a
little bit.
mom instead of these weird, I don't know, these people that are just like out there giving everyone this false sense of hope and fairy tale. Like, it's not going to help us to continue that narrative. It's going to help us to hear real stories of what
Okay.
people are going through.
Oh, I see.
And
Okay.
we're not alone. Aisha, I have to tell you, I love getting to know you so much because you are such a fantastic storyteller, and I never see any of your family in your videos. I don't see much of like you have
Really?
this like
Oh, well,
air
definitely not my
of
kids.
mystery. Like there's this air of mystery, and like getting the backstage pass is so cool. I just
Oh,
thought
you're
you should know.
welcome. Of
Yeah, thank
course.
you.
Thank you.
Um, okay, now we need we have some deliverables, by the way. We need the poems, stat,
Okay.
and we need to be.
I will get on that
Yeah, babe,
when
get
I
on it.
stop working so much.
There's literally nothing you can't do. I don't know how. I don't know how you're doing all of this. But you've already
I
started the
honestly don't
poems.
know. Well, I have, yeah. And I have breakdowns here and there. It's
Oh,
just too
the mental
much.
bees.
I do.
Oh, there's just too much to do.
Meant to bees.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
But do
yeah.
me a
You know
favor
the
and
ones.
keep doing what you're doing on socials, like,
Yes,
and your
yeah.
blog. Like, you are bringing so much goodness into the world, like,
Thank
with your
you.
brand of comedy. I love it so much. I'm such a huge
Thank
fan
you.
of
That makes me
yours.
happy.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate
I
that.
like
I'll
I
keep on doing it for you.
Oh, great.
Even if I don't gain any traction, I'm going to do it for you.
I mean, but you are gaining quite a lot of traction. So,
It ebbs and flows, ebbs and flows.
I'm
But I
impressed.
am going to continue. I'm going to
I'm
continue
impressed,
because
and I think you're
even if
onto
it's just like a
something.
few people,
Well,
it's
maybe
helping, I
maybe
think, a
some
few people
people want
even.
to follow you after this conversation. Would you let them know where? And maybe, yeah,
On Instagram at the Good Mutha with an A at the end, not an ER, mother. And also I have a blog on Substack, same name, The Good Mutha. And I think that's all I'm at the moment. TikTok, I'm not too great on there, but it's all the same handle, The Good Mutha.
fantastic. You're welcome, friends, by the way. You're welcome in advance for
Thank
this
you.
very fun follow. This is Daniela Urbani. You can follow me at Daniela Urbani on Instagram. That's where we have deeper dive conversations. And I'll see you guys next Tuesday with another episode of the Mom Curious podcast. Aisha, thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been great. I've had a lot of fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you, as always, for listening to the Mom Curious podcast. My name is Daniela Urbani. I am your host, and I would love to continue this conversation at Daniela Urbani on Instagram. And if you'd be so kind to rate and review, share this podcast, I would be just really grateful. Catch you next time, every Tuesday on the Mom Curious podcast, produced by Hoff Studios. You can find them at Hoff Studios on Instagram as well. All right, have a great day.